Hi, I'm Julia Symington. Sorry about the glasses. I'm Julia Symington, and I'd like to talk to you about these wonderful things here called wrists. I'm from Synthesis Yoga and Healing, and wrists can be a real problem in yoga because yoga often requires flexibility like that, and also some weight bearing or even more flexibility than that. Now that's, as we get older, our wrists start to become a little temperamental. It's just a natural part of the aging process. So first of all, just realizing how your wrist moves. So letting it move in a circle. I'm keeping the forearm straight here and just moving it in a circle and feeling and going both ways. Feeling one way, for me, one way is much easier. It's obviously the way I first did it, and this way is not so easy. Then bending it forwards and backwards, forwards and backwards. Yep. And then do the same with the other. Don't worry about this little bent finger here. And going the other way. It's just one of those things that happens in my genetic pool. And then bring the palms together. We call this peace pose. Peace pose. So when the palms together and you feel the whole of the palm in contact. I can't do anything about the finger, but we'll do our best here. Yeah. And then bring the palms down. I'll just kneel up so that you can see. Bring the palms down, and you can see that I can't take the forearms completely across because there's restriction in my wrists. Yeah, I'm doing the best I can, but that's as far as it'll go. Some joints are much more flexible. Yep, so just feeling how that is. But as soon as I come down onto all fours and start to put more weight on it, that can become more problematic for a lot of people. So how do we get, as this wrist is bent at an angle there that it doesn't like anymore, what can we do to change that? Well, we need to lessen the angle, and you can do that on your fingertips, which is great for strengthening the fingers. Or you can do it on your knuckles. Best not to have any rings with stones on, and that can be a really good alternative. If you keep the wrists straight so they're not angled in or out, that can be a great way to strengthen the muscles around the wrist. So when the wrists are giving you problems, it's also, we want to take the pain away, take the stress away, and we also want to build more strength. So the way to build more strength is, the way to take the pain away is, first of all, to what's a different way that I could do other than being on hands. Now there's a pose called dog pose, downward dog pose, which has quite a bit of pressure on the wrists. So we can either do it on the fingertips, as I was showing you. That can be a bit tough for people, or you can be on the knuckles. That can be tough for people because we're not used to bearing much weight on this skin, and the skin can get a little bit more sensitive, particularly as we're getting older. And I say getting older because I tend to appeal to people who are more of an age the same as me. But if you keep the forearm straight and the wrist straight, I can use my elbows. And a simple way to get used to that is, first of all, remember to push down
with the forearm right close to the wrist, right here. And that will automatically make your muscles much stronger. And you maintain that. And just feeling coming forwards and backwards. A really nice way to release the shoulders and to strengthen the wrists without any pain or strain. Now I can also go up into my downward dog pose without any wrist struggles. Just letting the head go here and lifting up through my sit bones. You can have a bit of a play around with distance and see whether you prefer the feet further away or further in. Your head should not be on the floor. And just gently coming down. So if you keep in mind you want the wrist to be straight, that will give you the opportunity to build strength. And if you also think of, as you're moving that bent, the straight wrist, as you're moving that joint, you can get a whole lot of movement in the elbow and still keep the wrist straight. If you push against the forearm, and that can be just using your imagination, and you've got two of them so you can do the same, that's going to give you some strength in the wrist as well. Because you can imagine that you're pushing something really strong away, or you can work quite softly. The danger is that the wrist becomes a little bit flopsy-mopsy, and we're not wanting to be expressive here. We're just looking at building a bit of strength. So that's a few tips for you for how to take care of your wrists as they get a little grumpy for whatever reason. If you've got arthritis in your wrists, then your big saving grace is going to be movement. So it's good to know what's the cause of the issue and what can you do to address it. So the more arthritis you have, then the more mobility you need in all the joints that are being troubled. So that might mean in the fingers as well. Yeah, so I like to think of this one as starlight, star bright. This is great for wrists as well. Stretching the fingers and making them into fists. It's good to mobilize every joint. It's fabulous to do in winter. And in winter, if you can do some really, or summer, do some really big flicks with the fingers and just get those joints moving. May not feel terribly comfortable, but it's going to be of great benefit for you. So the more you do it, the more you'll feel that you're able to tolerate the temporary discomfort for the longer term benefit. So there you are, a few little tips from you from Julia Symington. I'm in my home and I'm showcasing some yoga spiritually, and it's from Symphysis Yoga and Healing, based in Melbourne. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day.